Now this video is going to show you a 1-second move at address that is a game changer in the full swing. Now we also have one with putter that'll be in another video. These are based on 25 years of research, articles that are coming out here in the spring of 2020 in Golf Magazine. The one move at address, it's a Tensegrity move, and I'll explain more about that as the video progresses. The biggest change right away that you're going to experience is a change in rotation of the shoulders. And I want to show you the move, and then we'll get on with the video. So the move is at address is simply a pinching of the shoulders toward the sternum. 1-second move. You want to make sure as you do that you take a deep breath and relax the shoulders as you do. You don't want to hold tension through the swing. What you're creating is a closed kinetic chain. The fact that I'm gripping this club in both hands is creating a closed kinetic chain. So as I've raised one foot, I've disconnected the chain. See how much rotation I have with my shoulders to here? And that's a full rotation for me now. So if you can test this at home, simply make that move, and then I'm going to make that, see how much more rotation I just got. Now, why is that the case? This is a model of Tensegrity. I'll tell you more about it toward the end of the video. But if you look at this, the struts is our bones, and the bands is our ligaments, tendons, fascia, muscles. And when we take a pre-stressed organism and we apply tension to it, a disorganized structure, as we all have, and we release that tension, that's a very mild isometric tension, everything returns to symmetry. When I have symmetry, as you're going to see through this video, my shoulders level, my hips level, my arms and hands hang the same, the club face is aimed down the target line, my path is true to the line, so there are multiple things that 1-second move creates. So let's move ahead, and we're going to show you a segment at a time what this move creates. We call it the Wright balance optimization move, or the Wright BOM, B-O-M, balance optimization move. And demonstrate the Wright balance optimization move, what we call the Wright BOM. And let's talk about the move first. So Jay, go ahead and get in your setup. It's a simple pinching of the shoulders forward toward the sternum. And following that, you're going to have a very deep breath and exhale. As you look down the target line toward the end of that exhalation is when you're going to start the shot. Now why? We're going to relax the traps. Why do this? Jay, if you just, we've created in this a closed kinetic chain. So to disconnect it, Jay's going to raise one foot. Okay, now, Jay, go ahead and grip the club. And what's your grip pressure, 1 to 10? 10's as tight as you would grip it.
Like a 4 or 5. 4
or 5, okay. Let's make that move. And there you go. And relax the traps as you act. Deep breath, relax the traps. What's your grip pressure now?
Like a 1, 2.
Now, grip pressure comes from the traps. It's experienced in the hands. So learning how to build this into a routine, relaxing the traps after you make this Wright BOM move, then you're good to go. So let's take a look now at what changes, 14 or 15 different things this will do in your setup. So if you'd raise one foot, disconnect, right? Okay, I'm going to have you, no, that's okay. Go ahead and let your arms and hands hang at your side. 100% of the population, by the way, looks like Jay. Not exactly like Jay, but in terms of the anatomical makeup, you'll notice his right shoulder is down. Which hand turns in more than the other, Jay?
I have to cheat and look because I can't feel
That's fine.
Oh, wow.
You're right?
No. Yes, this one's turned further. This one barely moves at all.
What that suggests in most players that Jay's pelvis is rotated to the right. We'll see that here in a little bit. But so his hands turn in. So Jay, from there, if you just go into your setup and let your arm there you go. Now, right hand still turned in more than the left?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to go very deep into a squat. Okay. No change. Or actually it turned in more,
Turned
right?
in more, yeah.
Okay. You just stand up. Okay. Now, So the first thing we want to look at, these are the changes you're going to see with the right balance optimization move. I'll hold the cards here for a bit. And Jay, if you would just swing to the top. Okay, Jay's rotation to the top, I'm going to take this rod, 90 degrees or right on his shoulder line is about right here. So Jay, if you would come back down, set the right bomb, and now exhale and take that to the top. And you can see that he has a good 20 degrees more, 10 to 20 degrees. So you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. You can bring
Actually,
it down.
that's my right side too.
Yeah, okay.
It's
And
centered, but it feels like it got over. That's awesome.
yeah, you're going to have a lot more rotation. That rotation, greater extension, more club head speed, the downswing. Okay, so what each time you set the right bomb, you're creating a closed kinetic chain. So Jay, if you want to, I want you to take a look at Jay's right shoulder's down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lower, would you put your thumbs on your hips? And let's see here, is that right hip higher?
Right hip feels higher.
Okay, you should be able to see that on the camera. Okay, go ahead and set the right bomb. Okay, and I'll take the club and stand tall. So let's do a couple of things. Let's put the cards back in your hands. Okay, stand tall. Shoulders are level. Look at how your hands, his hands are going to hang exactly the same. And can you get your thumbs on your hips there? And his hips are going to be level as well.
They feel pretty good.
What this is going to change is the orientation of his spine and pelvis. As he swings, he's going to have much less friction, much less resistance. Before, your right shoulder was down, your right hip was up. And that's going to put stress on the spine, going to put stress throughout the body as you're trying to swing. So, Jay, while you're there now, let's just have you go down as deep as you can. And I want you to notice that your hands do not change, do they?
They're the same.
Right, all the way to the ground. So this position is going to be maintained. So one of the things that happens once you raise one foot, and now if you go down again, one of the things that happens, you feel the change, is you can see Jay's right hand keeps going in further and further. Jay, while you're down there, you can come up a little bit. Once you put your arms across your shoulders and see how much rotation you have just without, that's not too bad.
Not bad.
Okay. Go a little deeper. Now chest. You're a little stuck there, right? I want you to remember that. So we're going to go back. You can stand tall, please.
Okay.
Okay, now set the right bomb.
Okay.
Okay. Now if you'd go down to where you just were, you'll see you have more than ample rotation. So if you have to change posture, hitting under a tree, go deeper.
Right?
No, if you can go down further.
Deeper?
Yeah. And he still has the same amount of rotation. And that is because of the leveling of the hips, the shoulders, and now the hands hanging the same. All of those go into being able to... you're going to test it? You're stuck.
It's stuck.
So the right bomb will make all of these changes at address. So let's do it. Let's just review. Set the motion and take it to the top. And a lot of good shoulder rotation. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Notice Jay's extension there too. It's great extension here. Now, I want you to bring it back down and raise one foot, disconnect. So we've disconnected that closed kinetic chain and take that to the top. And you can see the change in.
I'm fighting. I'm like trying to get it there. It just won't go.
So
Just flies up easily.
if you'd raise one foot, again, as you're going through this, and you're trying this, you want to disconnect the closed kinetic chain. And by the way, Jay, let's just do this so we can see. If you were to go into your setup, no club. The club is a link in this chain, and just go ahead and go to address. Try that move. Just there you go. Set the right bomb. Stand tall, and you'll notice your right shoulder is it still down? Yep.
Feels still
And
down.
right hand's internal rotation is still there. Yeah. And right hip is still higher. At a club, you have to have a club for this to work.
The grip side. What creates the balance with the club versus without?
It's just the closed
connection.
kinetic chain.
Got it.
Yeah, you have a kinetic chain, but not a
Not a
closed
closed
kinetic chain when you don't have a club.
Got it. Makes sense.
Okay. So go ahead and set right BOM. There you go. All right, and you're good. Okay, now you're back to where you were. So Jay, if you'd raise 1 foot. The other thing that the right BOM does is it eliminates club roll. So what does club roll do? Let's take a look through the swing. So get your grip, Jay, and bring it up. Okay. Now, I want you to be totally relaxed. You can do this without somebody pulling on the club head. But if you do, you don't want to be around the hosel. Just add a little pressure out here and push out, Jay. What do you see?
It's shutting.
Close, face is closing, okay? Please, to set the BOM, right BOM, you have to be in your address position. Set it. Okay, please stand tall, and you'll see now when you do, you have absolutely no club roll. So it keeps a club face, no shaft club roll through the swing. Yeah, thank you, Jay. Raise it, and now we're back to that shut face.
I'm not doing that on purpose, I promise.
Okay.
That's so good.
Go ahead and get in your setup, please. Now I want you to tell me left to right weight distribution. Where are you right now? More left, more right, or 50-50?
I'd say more right.
More right?
Yeah.
And I'd say so too. When your hips are open, as Jay's are, you'll see greater knee flex. As I increase the flex on the right side, that's where the weight is going. Now set the right BOM. Now where's your weight?
50-50 is pretty even.
50-50, and it will be. So you are set to make great motion here from that position. Okay. So we have put a bar on Jay's hips so you'll be able to see the orientation at address. So if you go ahead and set up with, I see it already. Go ahead and ground it.
Okay.
You'll notice how far rotated Jay's hips are to the left. So that's why when he described weight distribution more right, again, right knee flex is creating that. Okay, and Jay, if you would just set the right BOM, you'll see his hips just squared up. So that right BOM, that's the other thing that we're getting is a square hip line. Now let's take a look at what happens to club face aim and path.
Okay.
So Jay, if you'd raise 1 foot, disconnect that closed kinetic chain, ground the club. So if we look at Jay's club face aim prior to setting the right BOM, you okay there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the center of the club face. We have these lines numbered. On line 2, and Jay, this magnet rod that shows his club face aim is at about 1.5 inches left before it is off the end of the mat. That's aimed pretty far left there. Okay, now please set the right BOM, Jay. And now he is aimed exactly down the target line. That is right down line 2. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do that one more time. So stand tall. Yep, thank you. Disconnect the kinetic chain. Just ground the club. Yeah, you are pretty far left. Now set the BOM, the right BOM. Now he's absolutely perfectly on line. You tell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now if you'd raise 1 foot. So what I'm going to do now is, go ahead and you can ground it. Don't set the right BOM yet. I'm just looking at, you're still, middle of your club head is right on 2.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful if you do this. I mean, I've been hit the shin doing this before. So Jay, all I want you to do is start the club back, and you could. Well, you're going pretty far outside there. Okay, that hit my big toe on this. That's okay. That's fine. Okay.
Still outside.
Right, it's still out. That's the shin shot, by the way. It's still going out. Okay, set the right BOM if you would, please. Still addressing line 2. Yep, and now you're right down the line. So we're changing path. We're changing club face aim. We're setting the shoulders level, we're setting the hips level, and we're ready to get that club to the top of the backswing on plane. So, would you raise 1 foot?
So if my path was going this direction, there's no way I could have got it further than this.
No, and your miss is going to be steep
Mm-hmm.
and fat or blocked right when you're going to hang back. Difference in Jay's club face aim and path this past January 2020. Larry Rinker was with me. Larry, 20-year PGA Tour veteran, #1 in putting in 1990, a right balance professional, has his weekly XM radio show on PGA Tour radio. And Larry attended our session, certification, advanced certification in Orlando. And this is a segment of Larry. Watch his club face aim and watch his path change by making that right balance optimization move, the right BOM. So if you put your foot, be careful, I've been hitting the shin with this, especially if you get a little outside. Now start that club back, Larry. You missed my foot. Again. Now make that move. Now feel the path. Okay? So the path is this is going to change path. We'll go ahead and raise one leg and put it back down. What he's doing is we've created a kinetic change. As soon as he moves 1 foot, he's disconnected. So go ahead and get set. Don't make the move. I'm going to put this on the glove face. No, after you get set. This is a little heavy. And Larry is about 1 inch off. You see how left he is there? Make the move. No. Make,
that move.
Yep, make that move. Now relax and come back. And he just aimed down a line. So it just changed everything. You see the difference? Can you, from where you are?
Yeah.
And you see the glove face. So, now you can see he's further left. Make the move. Hips squared up. Now the glove face did.
Can't see it.
It's still left?
That's pretty good.
No, that glove face is pretty square. Where's your weight?
My weight is over here.
No, is it on the heels or the toes or?
It's in the middle.
So it's not on the balls of the feet. He's not going to use the ground the same way. To test whether or not the club's in front, there's a simple move that can be made. So go ahead and, so we're going to get the club with the right BOM more in front than it has been. So Jay, take it to the top. This is just his normal setup, normal swing. So if I hold Jay's hands here, he doesn't move his right foot, and he steps with his left around, you can see how far behind him that club is, okay? Now Jay, if you would, I'm going to get out of your way and set the BOM, set the right BOM, and then take it to the top. So you can see, now turn and face me, that the club is much more in front. Jay still has a little behind, but it's still so much more in front after setting the BOM. Okay? You feel the change in the path?
Yeah.
You can tell it's not out now.
It doesn't feel as loopy either.
Feels free.
It feels great. So
Let's do
this
that
is
again.
no
Yeah,
BOM.
I'll let you turn and face the camera this time.
Okay. Oh, turn it, face the camera?
No. Once you
Oh, got you.
set.
Okay.
No BOM. Okay. Club is behind. Club's behind.
Yep.
Now with the right BOM.
I like the name.
Right, light the fuse. Oh yeah, I can see it from here. Much more in front of you now.
Wow.
So after the right BOM, the club's going to be much more in front of the player as well. What else is there? What there is, our right balance research, we've defined what we call power spot in the middle finger, and it changes by setup and swing, and shaft plane. We have a matching power spot to a matching stance width. Then we look at shaft plane. So Jay, let's take a look at what shaft plane looks like just in your normal setup. Jay has all of his positions set, Now let's take this right hand off and just relax. So to check shaft plane, we're looking at where is that left hand. Middle of the palm, is it going to come over, or right hand I should say, trail hand. Is the trail hand going to cover, middle of the palm, cover that left thumb? How's that feel?
Close, pretty close, but
All right.
just doesn't want to get.
Yeah. Go ahead and reset. Now, check your thumb. Just take your right hand off and relax.
There it is.
That's absolutely perfect. Now, Jay, hold that position, but change your stance width right to here. 1 inch difference. And you can
Oh.
see the shaft just dropped. What that means is that through the swing, Jay's arms and hands are not going to be under his shoulders. He has what's called a low shaft plane. So through impact, this club's going to move out under the arms and under the shoulders, and that's going to either be a heel shot. It's possibly going to be heavy, could be thin, who knows. But the point is, this is what can be added to the right BOM. And how's this added? It's added by seeing one of our right balance professionals, having body measurements done. They'll be given a list of stance widths and simply showing them what position the middle finger, the bottom of the grip should be placed. Okay? Thank you, Jay.
No sweat, Doc.
Now, if you're anything like me, what's driven this research over the years is one thing, and that's the question, why? Why is that happening? And as you've read in the Right Balance, on the Right Balance website, and you've heard me say many times, proof of concept is so critical. For years, I taught you're taking the club outside, we need to get it more on plane. And those are I was a position teacher. I do none of that anymore. And if you're asked to do something in a lesson, no matter what instruction it is, I'd ask why. Why do I need to do that? What change is that going to create? And I would not take the answer, you've got to do it over and over and over again before it really becomes ingrained. No. You should be able to see changes. Everything you've learned here is on balance. From grip to stance width to posture, club face aim, all of those factors, path, all of those factors come out of one in setup. They come out of balance. And why does the closed kinetic chain exercise work? Why does the right balance optimization exercise work in planes, all the planes of motion? Well, 2 reasons. The first is the stance widths, and that was one of the first things to fall out of the research in Dr. Job's biomechanics lab. We had 1,000 sensors in each shoe, and I came up with 9 stance widths that are literally mapping the core. The lower core is the pelvic floor to the navel. The mid core is, and these are color coded. Pelvic floor to navel is in blue. Navel to lower sternum is in black, and lower sternum to actually goes into the jawline is in red. So you start with those and you do the exercises. So all of nature has symmetry, and those stance widths are a Fibonacci sequence. We find Fibonacci sequences throughout all of nature. A wave breaking at the shore and the curvature, a nautilus shell, a sunflower, the sunflower seeds, fronds on a palm tree. They all have Fibonacci numbers linking them to precise symmetry, and that's exactly what we have in our stance widths. The next thing is that our traditional model of biomechanics is just that. It's traditional, it's not accurate. Our biomechanics, as we've learned, and the proof of concept is everything you've seen in these videos, is that these struts represent our bone structure, and these bands represent tendons, ligaments, muscles, and fascia. Fascia envelops absolutely everything in the body. And this model is 100 years old. This came out, Russian artist had an exhibit in 1921 showing this model. It was subsequently picked up by R. Buckminster Fuller, who designed the geodesic dome, and an artist sculptor by the name of Kenneth Snelson. There was another sculptor in there as well, but Snelson stood on the shoulders of Buckminster Fuller, and Johansson, I believe, was the Russian's name. And he designed a structure that he has beautiful sculptures that none of the struts touch, and they extend in the air about 80 feet. Dr. Stephen Levin, orthopedic surgeon, coined the term biotensegrity, meaning the biological implications of tensegrity, tension integrity. A fellow by the name of Dr. Donald Ingber. Dr. Donald Ingber is a cellular biologist, a physician, has the Weiss Institute at Harvard Medical School, has over 150 researchers under him. Basically, what you're looking at is what Snelson called floating compression. That's how you can describe our bodies. Our bones don't touch. There is a connection. Why don't we collapse in a pile on the ground? And this is why. Because the force of gravity and the external compression work together to keep us intact. However, when we arrive for performance or whatever, and we look like this, we add isometric move, which is what we've done in the right balance optimization exercises, closed kinetic chain exercises, and the right BOM and address, and we release that and everything returns to symmetry. So we come in disorganized, out of asymmetry, in an asymmetrical condition, and we add a little bit of tension, and all of a sudden we return to normal. When we do those across the Fibonacci sequence in the stance width, they hold for several hours. Donald Ingber, in his cellular biologist, is looking at this same process at the cellular level. They have what's called mechanotransduction, which is the application of mechanical stress to a cell, and they're seeing biochemical changes. We see biomechanical changes. And he's working on a microcosm, looking at that same model. He actually uses a model like this to describe and shows a cell within this structure of the tissue. And application of force again, and now we return to symmetry. We move forward. These isometric moves in a stance widths that match our symmetry of our core, the Fibonacci sequence, the right balance stance widths. When exercise is done in those, and the isometric moves are made through all planes of motion, then we're able to not just have at that moment, whether we're hitting a baseball or hitting a golf ball or lifting something in the garage, making that move to make sure we have symmetry, we can have that symmetry throughout the day just by doing the tensegrity exercises in the right balance stance widths. So if you don't have stance widths, there are a couple of things you can do. You can go to the rightbalance.com. That's our new homepage. There you can be certified online if you just want to be certified to measure yourself and your friends and neighbors, family, or if you want to become a right balance professional, there is a quiz that you'd have to pass, or you can input your zip code where it says find a professional, input your zip code and it will have the closest professional to you. We are now located in over 13 countries around the world.